Yo, Big Kish back up in here. According to Fantastic Hip Hop, man, we about to react to this. It looks like Drake's songs he been coming out with, them joints is tanking. So yeah, that little stimulus package you got with Central C and going over to UK and glazing them, talking about they the best lyricists and all of that, it's not working. We don't believe you. You need more people. Do not click off this video. I'm telling y'all, this gonna be a banger. Before we get into that, y'all make sure y'all pick y'all up a copy of Street Dad, Geek Dad, Avoiding the Manufactured Mindset, written by me, Big Kish. The link will be in the description for purchase. Appreciate everybody been supporting the book, supporting the channel. Look, man, y'all know I'm like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
Now, when it comes to Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, and everything going on in hip-hop right now, well, if you are ready to see how rap's courtside Karen is bound to have another
Rap's courtside Karen, godly. Your boy's a soccer mom out this motherfucker.
crash out because his music just tanked off the charts, all while multiple rappers he hates are charting comfortably over him, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And now really, as Drake is just on an insane losing streak, and it's so clear that it's not going to slow down anytime soon. Make sure to leave that like, because now as this entire crash out is bound to continue and continue in the worst way possible, really with
he thought he was gonna be able to change his head. Damn, my collar is crazy right now. Shout out to the bacon collar. Shout out to the bacon collar, y'all. But yeah, he thought he was gonna be able to change his accent, get on the track with Central C and get some of Central C's fans. Nah, bro. Nah, I'm telling y'all, Central C, y'all out there in the UK, he's gonna make y'all look bad. Get away.
this, what is getting more messy than ever for Lame Ol' Lawbury all comes down to the fact of how in this month where we have seen these two distinct ideologies in hip-hop just clash with one another and try to show what music is really moving the culture and setting what is going to set the tone going forward. Well, now, while Drake has shown that he is still a problem because he has dropped now 2 songs, which despite their quality, his fan base and his own annoyance have projected them to a decent spot on the charts. Still with this, for him, his own standards and what he needs to accomplish.
Hey, when y'all was little growing up, did y'all ever knew anybody who chew on their collar? Alright, come on.
The music is just failing to make any sort of an impact that leaves him beyond being a bronze medalist, because after the Drake standard used to be to drop any sort of a song and no matter how bad it was, it would pretty much just be a lock for the #1 spot. That is not happening, and Drake would honestly be lucky to even get into the top 3, because from his new track, Which One, to What Did I Miss? Well, compared to the rallies and campaigns the Karens of rap tried to organize to get these songs to #1s, where they gave instructions on how to support Drake and boost this song, which I don't know, it just seems very weird. And if you're really sitting out here trying to project,
then you flew out the streamers, that didn't even help. I told you, the joints he come out with only last like 2 weeks max. That's because he don't have the UMG backing. This is what the OV hoes don't understand. He ain't got that financial backing, so he ain't got that impact. Nah, boy. Nah, he on his own dollar right now.
Project a song to get to a spot. It's just weird because it shows that you derive your enjoyment from all of this from calculators and numbers compared to what you actually hear with your ears. And really now, why these people who don't even like art and just like numbers are so upset is because now after Drake and Kendrick beefed at the top of the mountain for rap in terms of the fate of hip-hop, the industry, and so much else, it's clear that only one of them is really pushing things forward. And again, while Drake is still a problem, for Kendrick Lamar, he's got him wiped down with ease. And now, speaking of rappers who have Drake wiped down, what we are seeing now is that in this era where rap is shifting, well, between not having issues with tours and then putting up real numbers with a real impact, Tyler the Creator is way higher up this mountain as well and is in a part where Drake will never be again, because after what Tyler just pulled off with the first week of Don't Tap the Glass, from the streaming...
Bro, they said Tyler, it only took him like 8 months to create this joint. He said, like, y'all seen him in an interview, he said, you know what, just put it out. I ain't got time for all of this. Oh, we need to tweak these hi-hats, we need to tweak. He said he about to just start putting out, bro.
Debut and the total numbers that he did with just a 10-track album Overall, Tyler really has done something incredible, and I don't think people realize now that compared to other big albums this year like SSS for You, Music, or Jack Boys 2, which were all bloated with so much filler trash, numbers-wise, Tyler ended up doing about the same figures that they all did, but with half the tracks alone of the shortest album we are comparing it to, which was Jack Boys 2, which had 20 songs counting towards its streaming numbers. And overall, when you see the gap that Tyler has with these artists, and yet he just made a good album with the right amount of tracks and didn't just throw whatever music he could to try to inflate his numbers and inflate his impact. When you put together that this is what Tyler is doing in this very moment, and he is really beating in terms of performance and impact and every other possible metric that could matter in art, Travis Scott and Drake, who used to be seen as these giants, well, it's just showing that he has naturally become a superstar who has never had to rely on gimmicks and tricks to be at the top level. And now, speaking of relying on gimmicks, well, now, just as we celebrate Tyler on these charts, we have to now get back to lame old Lawbury, and now with him. Well, for Drake and his mission to try and reclaim the throne of rap and make a hit record that is not just a loser rallying call, but that reaches the top of the charts like his old single drops used to, no matter how bad they got. Well, unfortunately for Drake, nothing of the sort is happening right now, as with the 2 songs which he has just put out this month, and that he has been trying to make these sort of songs of the summer, you could say. Well, now after What Did I Miss got on the chart,
he was really trying to listen to people, because what people were saying, especially like the OGs of hip-hop, people who've been in hip-hop for a minute, all Drake got to do is come make some song for the O's. That's all he got to do. Well, he did it, and he failed. And he got some help from Central C. It's not gonna work, man. You ain't got that backing, boy.
And Drake was mad, and the OVO community thought they were going to get it to #1 despite this quote-unquote industry setup that they kept trying to use to sugarcoat their failure. Well, after all of the talking and taunting, they failed even worse than you could have ever expected, and yikes. What ultimately is the reality of this situation now is that What Did I Miss missed so bad that it didn't just miss the top 10 of the charts, but it also missed the top 20, and at the end of the day, moved all the way down to number 23, and I guess with this, well, as Drake dissed LeBron in that song, and he likes using surface level symbolism that I guess is deep for the OVO fandom because they have no media literacy, this is kind of cool for them, and I guess they could flip this into a narrative in their own weird delusional stan world. But seriously, before we get into laughing at this thing and really looking at what it means, and everybody on Drake's side just tries to say that this was an industry setup and that's why it's failing.
You even got people on TikTok trying to make it go viral. Like, what did I miss doing the little song? You know how people do the song in the background and make the video, and what did I miss? That shit ain't even working. You know, TikTok can make something boom. That shit ain't even working, boy.
And there's no other reason. Let's just break it down. It's not that, and what it's really because of. Well, if you've watched The Sopranos, you will get what I am about to say. A hit is a hit, and this song right here, it's just not a hit. And now what I really mean by this is that when you see where music has shifted and see what it takes to make a hit record in 2025, well, overall, unless the artist who is making a song is a top streamer when they drop and you command all of the attention, which Drake is not that guy anymore. Overall, to make a song go big, it needs to be able to get on radio and get within spaces that translate music to bigger levels and show more than just somebody listening to a song on a DSP. And again, when you understand just how the music business is structured.
And what do it take to do that? Bread. Who got the bread? UMG. Where UMG at? Court. Who taking UMG to court? Drake.
You can see that What Did I Miss did get okay airplay this time. And again, the Drake fans don't understand this and think everything is rigged because they don't do research. But now, even with decent airplay, it's not enough because aside from hip-hop stations, listen, you've heard What Did I Miss? It does not appeal to wider audiences because it's not catchy like Not Like Us or even TV Off to the point where everybody loved this song and it became this viral spectacle that is bigger than just an artist or a beef, because eventually all those Kendrick records did get there. And again, when you break this down further and see that Drake is making a lazy song over the same drums that every rapper has used for over a decade and then puts a lazy beat switch at the end of it, and then overall you see how Kendrick has been making songs where there is a catchy hook, a quotable verse, a memorable bridge, a call and response section that everybody...
Man, Kendrick gonna make sure he think outside the box. He gonna make sure the drums different, the hi-hats different, snares. He gonna, oh yeah, let me get that Mustard. Let me get that joint that don't nobody want. Let me get that one. No, ain't nobody want it. Not like us. It not like us was sitting somewhere over. Or was it Pickable? Nah, it was not like us. He was like, yo, Mustard, boom. Let me get something out of this world. Let me get some Cali shit. Let me get some of that Wild West shit. It's a rap.
He gets involved in samples that appeal to a wider audience, like Debbie Deb, which brought people back to freestyle music, or Luther Vandross, which I don't have to say anything about that. Well, overall, when you just see the two different ways these guys are making music, you understand what I am saying. A hit is a hit, and what Drake did is not a hit. And it's only going to get a lot worse for here from him, and I don't think the OVO stands are ready for that so clearly. And the reason why I say that is now when we look at Drake's new song with Central C, which won, despite the track leaving rapping and really trying to pander to a more massive audience, well, now where Luther does this, for example, and manages to do it in the most tasteful way possible, I mean, Drake does this in the absolute worst way. And I mean, we shouldn't be surprised by this, but seriously, when it comes to the numbers right now, and this track is projected to fall anywhere in between the 7 and 9 spots on the Billboard.
I heard it was at 8. What is that? Oh, which one? Oh, that joint at 7. It's at 7.
Billboard Hot 100. What we are seeing is that once again, while Drake is still going to be around for a while and his fans are going to keep his success at a certain point, again, what these stands have really done for Drake and what he will soon be solidified as is the ultimate bronze medal in hip-hop or something along those lines, because we are just finding out now that Drake is not that guy and he can't even handle the mantle that would really be needed to get to that number 1 spot. And to be honest,
I ain't gonna lie, his fans are keeping him still where he at. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he gonna be able to have no type of motion until this UMG thing gets settled. When this all done, you know what I'm saying? I think that's when he gonna start to either something. He gonna be able to move. He gonna be able to. I ain't saying he moving up. He just gonna be able to move.
Be honest, when we just see how Drake is pretty much making lesser versions of things he has already done, and even with the songs themselves, in terms of the facets that make hit records like accessibility, bridges, hooks, decent melodies, none of that is there. Well, again, for the Drake stans who are so angry, just look at this thing critically and look at it from the bigger perspective of these rappers, the beefs, and what it all means. Drake is not making hits, and to be honest, I am surprised that his songs are doing what they are, and it is a sentiment to how there is a stan base that is going to follow him till the end.
Yeah.
And really,
Drake
with
fan.
this now, at the rate that Drake is at and with how lazy the music really is, if he is just going to create at this level, he should accept his new role and just bow down to Kendrick Lamar, because Kendrick is beating him within every category with ease. But of course this won't happen. And again, despite Kendrick still winning against Drake on the charts and doing it with a song like Luther, which is
that ain't gonna happen. He'd never give Kendrick his props because he always looked at Kendrick as the little bro. I'm the one who brought you on tour. I'm your big little nah, bro. It don't work like that, man. Just show the man his respect, bro.
almost a year old, Drake will just never admit that Kendrick is doing a better job at the thing that he used to get all of his validation from, and he's just gonna keep saying that this is all a setup and it's rigged against him, which, let's be real, no matter what he wants to say and do, it is not, and he is just reluctant to take ownership and accountability of his own artistic and personal failures. But again, shocker, we know Drake's a loser, and overall, with now both Tyler the Creator, Kendrick Lamar, and even Clips all seeing success on the charts with their songs and albums, all while Drake and his entire side of hip-hop has less and less impact over the music market. We are really seeing this entire shift in movement in hip-hop that is changing everything go down, and well, with this, what we are finding out is that with another Drake failure and with more of his songs free-falling off the musical ladder, and there is nothing that he can do to push up these just bad products. Well, really, maybe if we are in an era where a song that honors Luther Vandross is outdoing a song that is pandering to every audience possible and has no original thought, I guess I thought I would never say this, but maybe rap really is changing for the better. And so now with all
It damn sure is, man. Hip hop is back. It's here. Lyrics are back, boy. All this little changing your accent and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And people changed their accent back in the day, but they changed it for like one song. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Booyaka, booyaka, but. Yeah, people did that. Yeah. It's a thing. People did it. You know what I'm saying? But they did it for one verse or one song. This dude trying to make his whole career out of a different accent. Like, go sit down. Go sit down. He'll come up with some new ideas. That's what Drake needs. He need people around him with great ideas. This is why he reaching out on Kai Sinat streams and all of that. I need y'all to help me make this video better. This video, I need help me make it better. He ain't got no. They lack big ideas. They don't have any ideas, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. Big Kish signing out. I'm gone, y'all.